You've been told that manifesting your dream life is hard, that it takes complicated rituals, endless visualizations, perfectly worded affirmations, and a constant grind to raise your vibration. But what if quantum manifestation is actually stunningly simple? So simple, in fact, that almost nobody does it correctly. Right now, you are living inside a quantum field, a field that is infinite in possibility, a field that responds not to your effort, but to your alignment. Yet most people approach manifestation like it's a fight. They try to overpower reality with willpower. They repeat affirmations they don't believe. They visualize outcomes they secretly doubt. They force themselves to think positive while their body is still broadcasting fear and scarcity. And this is where the system collapses, because in the quantum world, forcing is friction. Quantum manifestation is not about getting what you want. It's about collapsing the version of reality where you already have it. It's not about changing the external world first. It's about embodying the internal signal that pulls that world toward you. The field already contains every possibility: success and failure, abundance and lack, love and loneliness, health and struggle. All of it exists as waves of probability. But those waves do not collapse into reality until they meet a coherent observer. That observer is you, your focus, your attention, your emotion. They sculpt reality. Here's the problem. Most people observe from fear. They focus on what's missing. They vibrate in the frequency of lack while trying to pull in abundance. In the language of the quantum, this is noise, not signal. You've been taught to chase, but the real art of manifestation is to become the version of you that no longer needs to chase. The version that remembers, I am already entangled with the life I desire. The field is waiting for my signal. My job is not to push harder, it's to become clearer. So why don't people do this? Because simplicity is disarming. Letting go feels unnatural. Surrendering the chase feels like giving up. But here's the paradox no one talks about. The moment you stop needing it so badly, the field can finally deliver. Think about a time when something came effortlessly. Maybe you met the right person by accident. Maybe an opportunity landed when you weren't even looking. Maybe the breakthrough idea arrived in the shower, not at the desk. What's the common thread? You weren't gripping, you were open, aligned, available. That is quantum manifestation at work. Whether you realized it or not, the quantum doesn't care about your words, it reads your energy. You can say I am wealthy 1,000 times, but if your body still broadcasts fear, if your heart is clenched in scarcity, if your nervous system is addicted to struggle, the field mirrors that chaos back. Not because it's cruel, but because it's precise. And here's where you and I start shifting together. If you're already feeling that spark, pause and subscribe right now. Not as a transaction, but as a commitment to practice coherence. This is a space for those who want to stop forcing and start aligning. Now, let's go deeper. What exactly does the field respond to? Thoughts, emotions, beliefs, actions? And how do you stop sending mixed messages? Most teachings focus on one piece. Think positive, visualize, say the affirmation. Meanwhile, the body is still holding trauma. The subconscious is still running survival programs. The nervous system is still bracing for impact. The result? A scrambled signal. The field doesn't want fragments. It wants integration. Alignment isn't a mental trick. It is a full body, full system, full field shift. Here's a question for you. Where in your life are you gripping so tightly that you've become your own block? Think about it honestly. And if something comes to mind, type one word in the comments below. Just one word: fear, control, trust, ease. That word becomes your signal. Let's make it practical. Imagine you're trying to manifest love. You've got the affirmations, the vision board, the scripts, but deep down you're carrying unworthiness. Your nervous system is braced for rejection. Your heart is armored. The field doesn't hear your vision board. It hears the armor. And so it mirrors more longing, more searching, more almost but not quite. The shift is coherence. Practice the emotions of already being connected. Let your body breathe safety. Let your heart open even before the evidence arrives. You become the frequency first, the form follows. This is why quantum manifestation is both simple and overlooked. Because the human mind loves complexity. It wants 10 steps, hacks, guarantees. But the quantum is not a machine. It's a mirror, a dance partner. It's alive, responsive, intelligent, waiting for you to meet it with steady, embodied presence. So take a deep breath with me right now. Inhale through your nose for 4. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Again, inhale 4. Hold 2. Exhale 6. Place a hand on your heart. Whisper one word you want to embody this week. Ease, trust, openness, joy. Let your body feel it. That's you tuning the dial. If you just did this practice, drop your word in the comments. Not for me, but for you. Because the moment you name it, you start aligning with it. Before we move into the next part of this journey, where we'll break down the observer effect, wave collapse, and the role of the subconscious, remember this. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. And who you are is built moment by moment, breath by breath, choice by choice. So if this video has already shifted something inside you, hit that like button. Let YouTube know this content matters so more people can practice coherence with us. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time, because this is only the beginning. In the last section, we uncovered a powerful truth. Forcing is friction, and the field responds not to your effort, but to your coherence. Now let's go deeper. Let's unpack how the quantum field actually listens, why the observer effect matters, and how to align your heart, brain, and body into one coherent signal. Because when you understand this, manifestation stops being a mystery. It becomes a practice. At the heart of quantum mechanics lies the observer effect. Particles exist as a cloud of possibility until an observer focuses attention. That focus collapses the wave into a fixed event. Choices crystallize. Reality solidifies. But here's what most people miss. The observer isn't just your conscious mind. The observer is also your subconscious. And your subconscious is broadcasting 24 hours a day, whether you realize it or not. You may consciously say, I want abundance. But if your subconscious is wired for scarcity, if it is conscious mind is dreaming of freedom. This is why so many people feel stuck. They're aligning the surface but ignoring the depth. And in the quantum game, the depth always wins. But there's more. Scientists like Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton have shown that the heart has its own electromagnetic field, far stronger than the brain. This heart field radiates out and interacts with the larger quantum field around you. When your heart and brain are in coherence, when the mind and the emotions sing the same song, you send out a powerful unified signal. When they're out of sync, the message becomes weak, scrambled, fragmented, and so the field mirrors back confusion. This is why trying to manifest from the mind alone so often fails. Without the felt sense of alignment, the quantum has no clear pattern to mirror back. You can't just think your way into change. You must feel your way into coherence. You can't just tell the field what you want. You must become a vibrational match to it. That means tuning your breath, your posture, your nervous system, your daily choices moment by moment into harmony. Let's make this practical. Imagine you're on the London Tube during rush hour. It's noisy, crowded, and your nervous system is tight, bracing against the pressure of bodies and noise. That state is what you are broadcasting. The field is listening, not to your words, but to your tension. Now imagine sitting quietly with a warm cup of tea on a rainy UK afternoon, feeling calm, steady, open. The world hasn't changed, but your frequency has. Which state do you think the field mirrors back? Exactly. This is the art of coherence, and coherence is trainable. Here's a simple practice. Place your hand on your chest, breathe slowly in for 4, hold for 2, and breathe out for 6. Do this 3 times. As you breathe, recall one moment of genuine appreciation, a time you felt safe, loved, or deeply at peace. Let your heart soften as you breathe. What you're doing is syncing your heart and brain, creating a signal the field can actually read. This is not wishful thinking. This is physiology. The electromagnetic field of the heart expands when you feel gratitude. That expansion is coherence. Now let's talk about the 7-day alignment practice. Because coherence is not built in one moment. It's built like a muscle over time. Day 1, awareness. Spend the day simply noticing your state. Are you tense, open, anxious, grateful? Don't judge, just notice. Awareness is the first collapse of the wave. Day 2, breath. Add conscious breathing into your day. 3 times, stop what you're doing and breathe 4, 2, 6. This teaches your nervous system to come back to safety. Day 3, heart. Place your hand on your heart and recall appreciation. Do it once in the morning and once at night. Anchor the feeling. Day 4, identity. Ask yourself, what would the version of me who already has it do right now? Then take one small action from that place. One action is enough. Day 5, words. Notice your language. Every time you say, I can't, or I'm stuck, pause and shift to, I'm learning, or I'm opening. Words sculpt frequency. Day 6, body. Pay attention to posture. Walk as if you are already carrying the life you want. Shoulders back, breath steady. Let the body lead the field. Day 7, integration. Review the week with gratitude. Write one paragraph about how you felt and what shifted. Gratitude locks coherence. This 7-day cycle is not a one-off challenge. It is the foundation of living coherence. And when repeated, it reshapes your subconscious broadcast. Let me share a small UK story. A woman in Manchester told me she practiced just one thing, breathing and asking, what would invitation? As you listen right now, take a single breath, feel your body. Ask, what signal am I broadcasting in this moment? Is it noise or coherence? Scarcity or trust? Control or flow? Just noticing creates a choice point, and choice collapses waves. Before we go further, I want to invite you into this practice as a community. If something here resonates, hit subscribe not as a transaction, but as a declaration that you are practicing coherence. And in the comments, drop one word that captures your chosen frequency for the week. Maybe it's trust, maybe it's ease, maybe it's joy. Whatever comes first, let that word become your anchor. Because here's the deeper truth. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. And who you are is broadcast in every breath, every thought, every gesture, every word. This is the real secret. Manifestation is not a performance. It is a practice. It is a way of being. And the field always listens. You now understand that the field listens to coherence. You've practiced awareness, breath, and alignment. But here is the part almost no one talks about: emotional regulation. People assume manifestation is about feeling good all the time. It's not. It's about feeling real and learning how to return to alignment when you wobble, because you will wobble. There will be days when fear creeps back in. Days when the old patterns whisper in your ear. Days when the timeline you are leaving feels heavy, seductive, familiar. And in those moments, you will be tempted to go into control mode, to push, to force, to grip again. This is natural. But the mastery is not in never falling. The mastery is in how you return. Think of it like walking across the wet streets of London on a rainy morning. The pavement is slippery. No matter how careful you are, sometimes you slip. The question is not, did I slip? The question is, how quickly can I regain my balance? Emotional regulation is the art of regaining balance. It is about catching yourself in the wobble, breathing, and coming back into coherence. So what does this look like in practice? Imagine you feel anxiety rising before an important meeting. Your chest tightens. your thoughts spiral. In that moment, regulation begins with acknowledgement. Whisper to yourself, "This is anxiety. It is a wave. Waves rise and fall." Then, breathe 4, 2, 6. Place a hand on your heart. Soften your shoulders. Remind your body, safety is here now. This is not bypassing. This is welcoming the emotion, but not letting it drive the car. Here is a paradox. The more you try to fight an emotion, the more it locks in. But when you welcome it, name it, and allow it to move, it often dissolves in minutes. The field mirrors not your suppressed emotions, but your coherent presence with them. This is why emotional fluency matters. To feel deeply without drowning, to allow waves to move without being carried away. Let me give you a UK example. A man in London once told me he shifted his entire practice by using tea as an anchor. Every time he felt stress, instead of reaching for his phone, he put on the kettle. The act of making tea, sound of boiling water, the warmth of the cup, became his ritual of regulation. Over time, his body learned. Stress means pause, breathe, tea, return. The emotion didn't vanish, but coherence returned faster. That is mastery. Now, let's talk about setbacks, because setbacks are inevitable. You might lose a job, face rejection, fall ill, or simply wake up on a day when nothing feels aligned. Many people think setbacks mean they failed at manifestation. But in truth, setbacks are invitations. They are opportunities to practice coherence when it matters most. The question is, can you stay in the frequency of trust even when the evidence hasn't arrived yet? Can you hold the vibration of manifestation becomes real? Here's a practice for setbacks. Every morning, before checking your phone, ask yourself, what frequency am I tuning into today? Scarcity or abundance? Fear or trust? Control or flow? Your body will tell you when you've slipped. Tension in your chest, tightness in your jaw, contraction in your gut. These are signals. Don't shame them. Notice them. Breathe. Ask, what would the version of me in my desired timeline choose now? Then take one small action from that place. One action is enough. At night, before sleep, replay the day, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Where did you wobble? Where did you align? Where did you glimpse your power? Gratitude amplifies coherence. Even a small acknowledgement, I returned once today, plants a seed. Here's another layer most people miss. Community. We are social beings. We co-regulate with those around us. If you are surrounded by people who live in fear, gossip, or scarcity, your nervous system will entrain to that frequency. But when you connect with others practicing coherence, your system aligns more easily. This is why community matters. It's why spaces like this channel exist, to be a resonance field for each other. So here's my invitation. Curate your environment, not just your physical space, but your energetic space. Fill your life with reminders of your chosen timeline, notes on your wall, music that settles your heart, conversations that lift you, people who remind you of your becoming. Let your world be an ally, not an enemy. And remember, there is no finish line. The point is not to arrive once and stop. The point is to live in continuous unfolding, to become the living edge of your own evolution, to manifest not just things, but a state of being. So pause with me here. Take a breath. Notice this exact moment. Ask yourself, what timeline am I tuned to right now? Is it one of waiting or one of arrival? One of fear or one of trust? One of scarcity or one of abundance? No judgment, just noticing. Because noticing creates choice, and choice collapses waves. If this resonates, subscribe not as a transaction, but as a declaration. And in the comments, share one word that captures your chosen frequency today. Maybe it's steady, maybe it's open, maybe it's flow. That word becomes your signal to the field. Because manifestation is not a performance, it is a practice. And every practice begins with one breath, one choice, one coherent signal. The quantum field is not separate from you. You are entangled with it. You are the observer and the observed. You are the wave and the collapse. And when you live from that knowing, life doesn't just respond to you. Life becomes you. We've walked through the mechanics of the quantum field. We've explored coherence, alignment, emotional regulation, and the practice of returning when we wobble. Now, let's bring everything together into a living, daily rhythm. Because manifestation is not something you do once, it's something you live. Imagine tuning a radio. Every morning you wake up and the dial is slightly off. Static fills the air. If you don't adjust it, you'll hear fragments, but not the full song. Manifestation works the same way. Each morning, you get the chance to tune the dial. The choice is yours. Noise or signal. Scarcity or abundance. Fear or trust. Waiting for arrival. So what does it look like to live as a coherent signal? It begins in the body. The body is your compass. If your shoulders are tight, your breath shallow, your jaw clenched, that's noise. If your breath is steady, your chest open, your posture relaxed, that's signal. The body doesn't lie. It broadcasts your frequency more honestly than your words ever could. Next comes the heart. Gratitude, appreciation, compassion. These are not sentimental feelings. They are vibrational states. They expand the electromagnetic field of the heart, literally altering your electromagnetic broadcast. That shift is measurable, and the field listens. Then comes the mind. Thoughts are like instructions to the field, but thoughts without emotional coherence are static. A clear intention paired with an elevated emotion becomes a powerful command. When the mind and the heart sing the same song, the field responds almost instantly. Finally comes action. Action is how you embody the signal in the material world. It's how you anchor the frequency into your timeline. If you want abundance, generosity is the action. If you want love, vulnerability is the action. If you want health, respect is the action. Thoughts, emotions, and actions must move in the same direction. That's coherence. Now let's weave this into a daily practice you can live. Morning alignment, midday reset, evening gratitude, and weekly anchoring. In the morning, before your phone, sit for 3 minutes. Breathe 4-6. Place your hand on your heart. Choose one word: ease, trust, joy, strength. Let that word be your signal for the day. In the middle of the day, pause for one breath. Ask, what frequency am I broadcasting right now? If it's noise, shift. Loosen your shoulders. Recall your word. Breathe once. That is enough. At night, review your day. Not with judgment, but curiosity. Where did you align? Where did you wobble? Gratitude amplifies coherence. Name one moment, just one where you returned. Weekly, sit with a journal and ask, what timeline am I choosing now? Write about the person you are becoming. Describe how they walk, how they breathe, how they choose. This writing is not wishful thinking, it is a signal. When you live this rhythm, coherence becomes your default, and manifestation stops being a mystery. It becomes inevitable. Let's return to the observer effect. Remember, reality collapses when observed, but the observer is not just your conscious mind, it is your subconscious, your heart, your body, your entire system. When these layers align, the wave collapses into the timeline you desire. This is not magic. It is physics meeting presence. But here's the deeper invitation. Stop obsessing over outcomes. Stop asking, when will it come? That question is noise. Instead ask, who am I being right now? Because the field doesn't give you what you want. It mirrors who you are. You don't manifest the thing. You manifest the state. The thing arrives as a reflection of that state. Let me share one more UK story. A young man in Birmingham told me he practiced simply walking as his future self. Shoulders back, breathing steady, smiling slightly as if he already carried abundance. He didn't change jobs. He didn't suddenly win the lottery. But within weeks, people responded differently. Conversations shifted. Opportunities opened. Why? Because his state changed. He tuned the dial. The field mirrored it. So here we stand, at the edge of the most powerful truth in quantum manifestation. You are not separate from the field. You are the field. You are not pushing reality from the outside. You are reality, entangled, alive, responsive. When you change, the field changes. When you align, the field aligns. When you become coherent, the field mirrors coherence. This is why the practice matters. Because coherence is not built in theory, it's built in breath, in posture, in words, in choices, in how you hold yourself on a rainy Monday, in how you breathe on a crowded train, in how you soften when fear rises, in how you return again and again. So pause right now. Take a slow breath. Feel your body. Ask, what timeline am I tuned to? Notice, choose, align. This is the practice. This is the art. This is the quantum. And here's my final invitation. If this journey resonates with you, subscribe. This video brought you value, hit the like button too. Every like tells the algorithm this is worth sharing. And together we create a stronger community of coherence. Because manifestation is not a performance. It is not a trick. It is a way of being. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. And who you are is built breath by breath, choice by choice, day by day. You are the observer and the observed. You are the wave and the collapse. You are the quantum field, alive and awake. And the more you remember this, the more life stops being something you chase and becomes something you embody. So keep tuning, keep aligning, keep returning. The field is waiting, and it always responds.